What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to this Anfield Agenda Premier League preview special. The Reds travel to Ellen Road on Monday night to take on Leeds United at an 8 p.m. kickoff. We will, of course, be doing a watch along of it here on the channel, and this preview is brought to you in association with our sponsors, Boyle Sports. I'm going to take you through my predicted 11 and my score prediction ahead of the game. I also caught up with Leon from Boyle Sports, and I'll introduce that segment a little bit later on in the video. Look, we say it week in and week out, we want to be in the Champions League. It's another cup final for the Reds. 7 cup finals between now and the end of the season. And realistically, I think we need minimum 18, maybe 19 points to secure our place in the Champions League next season. Okay, a lot will depend on opposition fixtures. You know, the top 6, a lot of them playing each other, so there will be points dropped along the way. As I'm recording this video now on Friday, Everton will be taking on Spurs later on tonight, so again, somebody there will be dropping points. West Ham have some tricky fixtures, and Leicester look like they're having a bit of an end of season wobble yet again. So what can we do? Well, look, we can take care of our own business, and that starts with a difficult away game against Leeds. You might remember the game against Leeds at the very start of the season. It was an absolute thriller, and I'm expecting this one to be a little bit more, not one-sided, but I think a little bit more of a composed Liverpool performance. I think the back four, although not the back four that we would have expected to be ending the season with, they're starting to find a little bit more consistency. They're starting to keep more clean sheets. And look, we can talk about Trent, we can talk about Robbo, but the main change there has been in the centre-back pairing of Ozan Kabak and Nat Phillips, and I think that they've performed as well as can be expected, to be fair, so far. From a Leeds perspective, they have some injury doubts about Rafinha and Rodrigo. Looks like Rafinha is the more likely of the two to start. Maybe both of them will start, but they'll certainly face late fitness tests. Leeds have all but secured their stay in the Premier League for next season. Marcelo Bielsa's done a very good job with that Leeds United team, bringing them up from the Championship and securing their safety. And not just safety, they've got to beat Manchester City as an example in their last game. So they're no mugs, as we've been saying for a long time. So let's start off with my score prediction, shall we? And this is what I think for the game. A 2-0 win for the Reds. Now, you know, we have to win. It's as simple as that. And, you know, usually with games at Leeds United, you'd be expecting goals at both ends. But I'm intrigued to see how we set up for this one. Now, Leeds, will they be on the beach a little bit? I don't think Marcelo Bielsa will allow that. As I said, they're safe in the Premier League. They've got a huge win again against Manchester City. And I wonder, will they relax a little bit? Maybe a couple of the players have an eye on Europe, the European Championships in the summer. Maybe I'm just, hoping here. But one thing we have to do is we have to play and we have to show up. And with that in mind, it brings us to team selection. I thought long and hard about this one, folks. James Milner put in an excellent performance against Real Madrid at midweek in the Champions League. I thought the 60 minutes he was on the pitch, he was probably one of our best players. Covered every inch of the pitch, every blade of grass. And I think I'm right in saying during the time he was on the pitch, he covered the most kilometres on the pitch, and that tackle with Karim Benzema right at the start of the game as well really did set the tone. So look, I'm going to take you through my predicted 11 now, ladies and gentlemen, and as always, I'd love to know your feedback on both my score prediction and my starting 11. This video will be going out on Saturday. I'm recording it on Friday, so it'll be going out on Saturday afternoon or Sunday morning. So again, in the comment section, please do let me know what you think. But look, here's my predicted 11 for the game. Look, see, as you can see, I've gone with Alisson in goal, Trent at right back, Robbo at left back, and the centre-back pairing that I spoke of. I think we're all in agreement that that's not going to change. There will always be some people asking about Phillips and stuff, but the truth is we haven't seen a single minute of him playing for Liverpool, so none of us fans know what to expect. The tough decision came with midfield. Do we go to a 4-2-3-1? Do we go with a 4-3-3? Well, as Klopp did against Real Madrid, I expect them to start away from home in a difficult game like this with Leeds with a 4-3-3 and looking to wrestle that midfield. So with that in mind, I've gone for Fabinho, Thiago and James Milner. I was quite astonished, quite frankly, that Thiago didn't start against Real Madrid. You think that that's exactly the type of game he was brought in to Liverpool to play in, but with this one, we need to make sure that we keep the ball moving, keep the chances being created. Let Fabinho and Milner be the legs and let Thiago do what Thiago does, which is try and pick out those passes. He nearly picked out a beautiful ball to Robertson during the game against Madrid. You could see him saying to Robertson, why didn't you take it on your chest, mate, instead of trying to let the ball bounce? So maybe it's just me being optimistic, but I think surely he has to start this one. Gini has run himself into the ground this season, and he looks to me like he's exhausted. Giving him a breather for this one, or maybe giving him some minutes off the bench, it's not to say that he might not start. Klopp, we know, trusts him. Klopp usually picks him in big games, but for me, I think Jimmy Milner has done enough. So if we're going to go with a 4-3-3, I'd like to see Thiago Thiago, Fabinho and Milner. And then up top, the difficult decisions again. There's been some rumours around Sadio Mane's future. There's been some rumours around Salah's future, Firmino's future. But we can only pick three if we're going with a 4-3-3. And I'm not picking Firmino for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I thought that he played well. I thought that he's a good option for us from the bench. But I'm going to stick with Sadio Mane, Diogo Jota, Mohamed Salah. Salah should have had himself a hat-trick. Salah's our top goal scorer. The man knows where the goal is, but for some reason, whatever it be on Wednesday, it just didn't fall for him, and I think he's going to want to put that right. So I'm going to play with Salah, Jota and Mane as my front three. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know what your predicted 11s would be as well. A little bit earlier on today, I caught up with Leon from Boyle Sports to have a little chatter at the game. Leon, look, it's been a bit of a mixed week. Results in the Premier League have gone in our favour, but unfortunately, the European adventure comes to an end.
It does, comes to an end, but I think from the performance, you're going to have to take so many positives. We created enough chances to win that game and qualify quite comfortably, but that's been our big problem. We haven't been scoring as many goals as the chances that we are creating, and everyone has complained about our back four and our midfield being weak, and fair enough, but if you don't put the ball in the back of the net, you're not going to win football matches, and we created plenty against Madrid. Hopefully, that will be the springboard for the remaining 7 Premier League games, because we've given ourselves a chance of finishing in the top floor. This club needs to be playing Champions League. Hopefully, when fans are back next season, we all know how special a place Anfield is. So here's hoping, starting with Leeds, which is going to be a difficult game. However, away from home, I am confident that Liverpool, although will feel pain having been beaten by Madrid over the 2 legs, I think they should take a lot of positives into this league game.
Yeah, it's, Leeds coming off the back of a shock win against Manchester City as well. So I wonder if that's their big result out of the way, and if maybe some of the heads, I know Marcelo Bielsa won't let them be on the beaches. Maybe I'm just looking for any hope I can here, Leon. But moving into this game, I mean, Leeds usually produce dramatic end-to-end games, and I'm wondering, what way we'll line up for this one. Will he go with the legs of James Milner, who I thought was magnificent, by the way, in the 60 against Real Madrid, and show the leadership we missed, or will he perhaps revert back to type and go for a 4-2-3-1?
Milner, it's against another of his former teams. The one thing about him, he does give you that bit of bite, and we spoke about this ahead of the Madrid game. I think I mentioned, he won't be afraid to give someone a good old-fashioned 50-50, and by God did he let Karim Benzema know that he was in a European Cup quarter-final, because that's what you want from Milner. Won the ball completely, and the thing I also love about Milner, it was a yellow card, the tackle that was made against him, but it was no more than that. But the way he got up, shook Casemiro's hand or gave him a little whatever tap, play on, that's what you want from footballers. He's a real proper footballer. There's not enough of them left in the game. I hope he starts, because when he starts, he drives them forward with his attitude. He's also a great speaker. He's a great communicator. I think the front three have got to be mixed up a little bit. I think Jota will definitely start against Leeds. I'd like to see Curtis Jones. I don't know what's happened. He seems to have been completely frozen out of any type of game time. I'd love to see Jones.
He's carrying an injury at the minute. He's carrying an injury himself and Queven Kelleher at the minute. Now, I don't know how long that'll keep him out for. The club are very secretive about lengths of injuries and stuff like that. But that's the reason he hasn't been around. But I wouldn't mind seeing him as soon as he's back come in.
Yeah, and look, listen, our back four again. We didn't give away too many chances against Madrid. Okay, they didn't really try in the second half to cause us that many problems. But you've got to give credit where it's due. It was a clean sheet against Real Madrid. Now, if we can play like that as a unit, Alisson was superb. The one time when he had to be big, he was big and brave in the first half. So I think build from the back. But our strikers and the boys, even who get the chances, Gini should have scored in the first half as well. We've got to try and take our chances, because Leeds will create. There's no doubt about that. They only know how to play one way. This could have a lot of goals, this game. I think it could be a very exciting fixture come kick-off Monday night.
Could be a potential, how do I say this, first day for Rafinha. Dare I phrase it any other way, Leon?
Well, look, I know he's carrying a little bit of a knock, isn't he, Craig? I think.
Yeah, himself and Rodrigo.
Yeah. I think Rafinha is more likely to play, because I think Rodrigo's is a muscle problem, which normally takes a little bit longer. But Rafinha, look, he is exciting. He's got pace. He's got that directness that Liverpool like. And who knows where he'll end up in the summer. But I think Liverpool are good enough, Craig, to go and beat Leeds. I do, however, think both teams will score, because I just think with Leeds United, they will create enough to probably put the ball in the back of the net at least once. Liverpool to win 2-1 is probably the way I'm going to go with it. If Jota starts, I'm going to back Jota to score first. I know Salah missed a couple of chances. The gilt-edged one was obviously that very first chance. Not even 2 minutes played in the game. He scores that, it's a totally different game. However, he's still the joint Premier League top scorer with Harry Kane. So let's not start criticising a man who has delivered every single season he's played for Liverpool.
I agree. And look, it's a massive, massive game coming up at Ellen Road. And fingers crossed, next time we speak, we'll have beaten Leeds and we'll be looking ahead to Newcastle. So look, Leon, I know you're a busy man. I know it's a busy time in the bookies world. So I'll let you go about your weekend, mate. And thanks for coming on a Friday for a chat. I really appreciate it.
No, listen, my pleasure's all mine, Craig. Thanks for having me on. And look, here's hoping we can take that performance, get a win against Leeds. And look, we've got 7 cup finals. And I'm fully convinced if we can win at least 6 of those games, we've got I think our only real tricky one on paper is away to Man U. The rest of the games, no disrespect to any of the other teams, but they are very winnable. So if we were to get 18 points out of those 6, and maybe we could go to Old Trafford and beat United, who knows? I think we'd have a great chance of finishing in the top 4, because a lot of the sides around us, they all have to play each other. So here's hoping that there can be a couple of draws and a couple of results go our way.
Now it's over to you for you guys to have your say. So let me know what your starting 11 is in the comment section below. Let me know your score predictions. Let me know if you think that Liverpool can realistically secure a top 4 place and back into Champions League football for next season, because I'm going to be brutally honest with you folks. I have no interest in us playing Europa League, and I know you guys don't as well. Call it snobbery, call it whatever you like, but this football club was built to play in the European Cup, so I really have got everything, fingers, toes, nostril hairs, everything crossed that we can get this top 4 spot. But it's got to start and it's got to continue with this league form that we've gradually got back. A few wins in a row has done us no harm whatsoever. If we can go to Ellen Road on Monday, secure the 3 points, 6 games to go, we'll know how the situation or how the land lies after the weekend. We're going to be the last ones to play, so a lot of games coming up and we'll know where we stand, and hopefully we can go into the game against Newcastle next Saturday, closing the gap, if not maybe forcing our way into that top 4. As always, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Please do hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video as well. We'll be back on Monday night for a watch along of the game as well. Lots of shows in between now and then, but if you're somebody who tunes in for a watch alongs, I'll be live from about 7:30. Make sure you've got your notifications turned on as well. Plenty of transfer videos and gossip coming up between now and the weekend as well. So thank you guys for being with us. Take care, have a lovely weekend, and up the Reds.